Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, let's get started. Where is everyone? So I was like super on time. I actually had the camera up and I was like 15 seconds early, and I was just sitting here counting down until the moment where you press the button. And boom, there we go. All right, so welcome. It's funny because depending on the day of the week is the difference in how quickly everyone signs on. Saturday is definitely the slowest, but Friday is by far the second slowest. I think Tuesday is the quickest, maybe even Wednesday. One of those days, within like 30 seconds, we're probably at like 75%. Uh, on a Friday, we're probably, I don't know, about 25%. Like that's how much of a difference there is. Okay, so anyway, it's recorded. Everybody will see. Let's get right into it. It's actually hot. In New Jersey, it's 70 degrees. And it made me realize it's April 14th. I'm not sure that we had winter. I don't think there was snow ever. In fact, our son has this little car that we push to school, and we got it for him for Christmas. And I brought him in that car every day, with the exception of I think four or five of them were raining, maybe two or three were too cold and windy. But other than that, I don't remember having a winter, which I'm actually quite happy about. Anyway, all right, let's get into it. Um, So where to start? So I was able to, yeah, no, oh, you know what? Maybe that is. Well, you know what, Carl? Let's do the greeting. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Right there we go. Yeah, Frida for sure. All right. So I was, Carl's the best. So I had a meeting with our tech team yesterday about the bot. And I gotta tell you, so I was of the belief, and maybe by design of our team, who masterfully managed expectations to outperform. They certainly managed it to underpromise and overperform. Because I got on the call believing that we were just going to get started from scratch. And not scratch, but like that we hadn't made progress in the last week. So I got on with my sleeves rolled up, and I'm like, all right, let's go through this component by component. So my team showed me what they had worked on already, and I was like, "You're like pretty much done." Um, Now, with that said, it was not pretty much done. So there's a couple of things to be had still. One, hey Terry, good morning. One is we need to make a good button. So instead of having this big block at the bottom of the page, there'll be a button that I would say stays fixed as you scroll on desktop and stays at the top of the screen as you scroll on mobile. The button being, hey, live agent, let's chat, right? Like, do you have a question? Something like that. So the person, upon coming to the page, could look around, find out for themselves. But at any point in time, you know what? Let me just ask the agent, beep beep beep, right? And that's what we want. So that still needs to be done. But I saw the prototype of it. I saw the beta of it. Like I saw the button, which is like it's cool. I saw it, right? Um, so that's that. And then as far as the flow goes, I saw the amoeba looking matrices of if they say this, then it goes to this and blah, 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 blah. Now, the part that I wanted to update or at least adjust was we're leading with Microsoft's AI, and then the backup is the AI that we have, the OpenAI from Elon Musk company and Sam Altman. I wanted to switch that. I think our OpenAI is better because it's far more conversational. Their bot and their AI is not so much conversational as it is intelligent. So it's the difference between talking to, hey, Deborah, it's the difference between talking to your friend at the bar or talking to the professor at school, right? Like, even though you might get the same answer, it's just different. It's stuffy. It's, that guy's like, Um, Actually, I guess you could say that at the bar too, every night. Um, which I haven't been to in a while. I haven't been anywhere. Like I gotta tell you, I was walking. I walked to the leasing office today, and it's like really, really hot out, and I'm like, oh, it's beach weather. When am I gonna go to the beach? Anyway, but I digress. So I want to go ahead and lead with the OpenAI first, in which case it's super conversational, and then the trigger to the Microsoft kicks in for the buy sequences. So once a person says, and we've identified 200 different variations of, I want to join, how do I join, can I join, join, my friend's name is join. Um, and once that is triggered, then it goes to Azure, which goes, okay, great, this is how you could get started. This is what we recommend, yes or no. No. Okay, great. Well, this is what we recommend, or you could select one of these. Okay, great. Then they select it. And then it goes directly to giving them the link, which is the exact buy link. Because again, in the 1.0, we're not going to be able to facilitate the payment by ourselves, which kind of stinks, but not really, because we'd only be able to facilitate that payment if someone's already a current member of our Kartra, which is a lot of people, but at the same time, it's not everybody. And the cool part about Rhino Hub, if you remember, is it's a completely free system, right? Like we're doing job placement, the Salesforce training, yada, yada, yada. But to join it, you do have to go ahead and confirm payment so that we're able to identify for security reasons that you're a real person, not a bot. But in doing so, by inputting those payment methods, which again we don't touch, we have, and by we I mean Kartra. It's not like Kartra's like, hey, Ant, look at this credit card number. In doing so, once you've done that, then you can have your payments facilitated by the bot because the bot can say, hey, would you like to do this? And you say yes, and then the payment details are all right there. In lieu of that, we have a thing called Express Checkout with Kartra, which allows all the payment details to be already pre-populated. The link, upon the individual clicking it, clicks it and it says, okay, do you agree to this, right? Like something really simple. You don't need to go and type it all in. Do you agree to this? Yes. Done. So let me tell you what is done. What is done is the payment sequence. That is done because we have all the links and the buy sequence, like that's all done. The OpenAI ChatGPT is done, but it's behind it. So we need to put it in the front, and then this triggers this, which triggers this. Now, during the buy sequence, do I have to make a new account in Kartra? I don't think you need to make a new one. You could sign up as an affiliate of ours with any account you have in Kartra. You just need a Kartra account. And if you don't have one, you could sign up to a free one through us, but I think that'll be okay. And the cool part about this is, so you put OpenAI in the first part, then you have the buy sequence bot on the back. But then when you confuse the buy sequence bot, like say for instance, the buy sequence bot's like, okay, fine, you want to do the $25 plan, and you're like, no, I like Jello. Well, then it triggers back to the OpenAI bot, which then says, Jello, I love Jello too. Who doesn't love Jello? You know what sounds even better than Jello? Rhino Bucks, right? Like, so it does that stuff. And once we can go ahead and put those three components together, then it just cycles, right? So it engages you, it walks you through to buying. It's able to facilitate your buying by giving you the link. And then if you do so, great. If you decide that you no longer want to do it, it goes right back to the beginning, walks you through it, convinces you to do it again, which means the only way that somebody could get away from this bot, and I don't mean for that to sound like we're attacking people. We're not, but I guess when you say but, it's everything before it is a lie. I was gonna say, but that's not the case. But okay, let's start over. It's not that for anyone to get away from the bot. If you engage in the bot's full description of work is to go ahead and bring you to the finish line. In doing so, it is highly persistent in believing that it can convince you to do so. Now, it can't force you to respond. So if you stop responding to it, then okay. The only other way to appease the bot or to silence the bot is to complete a checkout, which to me is a very, very high value proposition because the individuals that are coming to our page are being welcomed to our page by either my emails or our affiliates and partners' emails, meaning everyone coming to the page has some foundational knowledge and has opted into coming to the page, meaning they're warm. So if you go ahead and combine a warm, interested lead with an expert salesman who is persistent and believes that this is the best course of action, I think that's a good thing. So what you'll find in the numbers on the Rhino Ledger is that last weekend I projected this would have happened and it didn't. So obviously the numbers were not correct. This weekend I projected this was going to happen. It did not happen. So obviously the numbers were incorrect. Next weekend I do project this is going to happen. So I'm going to change the numbers and I hope that they will be correct. But that being said, I did see it with my own eyes, and I honestly think we'll be testing by Tuesday, Wednesday. I cannot imagine a world where this isn't live by Friday. So that's a good thing. Speaking of the numbers, we have a new all-time high in members. We're up to 409. We added another 8 last night, which is super, super cool. Our average member is down to 1250, 1250, 1260. But again, it's a lot of $1 things. And to that point, it's kind of like the chicken or the egg, right? What do we want? Do we want to go ahead and focus on raising the average plan size, or do we want to focus on increasing the number of members? And I believe there's a very obvious answer. You should always focus on increasing the number of members, because once they're a member, the longer you're a member, the more comfortable you are being a member, and naturally you're more predisposed to being comfortable to raising your plan. So it's kind of two birds, one stone. But raising the plan isn't something that many people do. Hey, I'm bored today. Let me go volunteer more money to Rhino, right? Unless there's a catalyst, right? Like, oh my God, that coin is flying. I want more. Or things are going so great. I want this. Or there's this one-time deal. I want to get into it, right? So there are levers we can pull, and those are levers that I want to focus on at a later date. But I was talking to V this morning, and I told her that I am thinking of trying to structure a way that it's just organic. It's easy, it's simple. Everyone is predisposed to it, and naturally it happens. I would really like that, because think about it this way: at 1250, our high was 2750 in January. That is what, $15? $15 on 400 people. $1 is 400, 10 is 4,000, 15 is $6,000. $6,000 extra that could be going into Rhino Bucks every single week. If we were just back to the high, right? Which is the high, right? But if we even got back to 20, you're talking about an additional over $3,000 a week that goes into Rhino Bucks. And again, the goal is to deplete it as quickly as possible. So imagine $3 additional going into Rhino Bucks, what the price would look like. Imagine what the liquidity pool would look like. Imagine how much quicker all investors could get their investor coin. So these are things that are constantly on my mind. And Deborah, I agree with you. I think it will happen. So we're going to try to identify a logical structure that incentivizes our members. We don't want members to be like, okay, Aunt, I'll do you the favor. Because although it sounds like it's doing me a favor because it's a goal I want to accomplish, I want to accomplish it on the behalf of all of us. So yes, it's a favor, but I don't know if it's the true definition. But I do want someone to be like, oh my God, why didn't you just tell me that? Yeah, of course, go ahead and do that. I didn't know that this was, I didn't know this was, I didn't know if I did this, I got that, right? I don't know what that sentence is. But there is a sentence that will cause someone to say, oh, duh, like, of course, go ahead and bump me up a little bit now that I know why I'm doing it, right? So I need to figure that out, which I believe I will, right? Hopefully. Whisper, I've seen it work. I told my team I don't want the robotic voice, that I want a middle-aged woman with a British accent voice. And it's because I'm so partial to it. I think it just sounds, I think if you find a 30 to 40-year-old lady, or 50, somewhere over there, that has that strong British accent, I feel like she's just soothing. She's like Mary Poppins. Everything she says is soothing. Everything she says is correct. I don't know what it is. I'm so partial to that. Um, so I believe they're looking for that API. I believe that's going to, they need a credit card to do so. So I'm waiting for them to ask me for it. And then once that happens, it will go live. It will go live for everything other than Safari, because we still need to work with Apple on that. But other than that, it's done. Um, we're also doing an audit on making sure that everyone that completes List Your Business is listed automatically, which we believe is the case. I have no reason to not believe it's the case, but I do want to always check and make sure that is the case, because nothing's worse than when our rhinos email me and say, hey, Ant, I did this and this didn't happen. And as you guys know, that's kind of the basis of our relationship. And I still come out here smiling every day. But those emails drive me nuts. And it's not that you drive me nuts, it's the content of it. It's not the messenger, it's the message. So please continue being the messenger, because if you're not the messenger, then it's like walking around with a mud stain on your shirt. I don't believe the person who thinks it's nice not to tell me I have a mud stain on my shirt is my friend. I think the person that has the courage to say, there's a mud stain on your shirt, is the person I want to be in the foxhole with. So please tell me if I have a mud stain on my shirt, right? That'd be funny if I did. I look down, like I can't see it right on the screen in front of me. Okay, so that's that. Liquidity pool, another all-time high. We're over 94,000. Somebody sold a big amount this morning, like 130 or something. And I looked at it and I was like, okay, great. I knew this was going to happen. You know, we ran up in price and somebody, green mud. Oh yeah. Hey, well, I'll take it. Rhinos love green mud. I was like, someone's going to sell. So I looked at who it was because anyone could look who it is, right? You can't see, you don't know who the name of the person is. I do because I have all the wall addresses because we send everyone it. I'll never reveal it out loud. Like there's a privacy involved, but I know who it is. And actually, what you can see is if you went ahead and looked and clicked, you could see their entire, because it's a block ledger, right? Like you could see every transaction they ever did. And I saw that this was an individual that had been selling Rhino. I think they had 2,000 Rhino. I was like, okay, well, duh. How much do they have left? Like, God, four. Four Rhino they have left. So that individual who has sold 2,000 Rhino over the last month, see you later, sayonara. And I love them, right? That's cool. But like I always said, once you sell it all, you have nothing left to sell. So I hope you got a good price. So that's that. Even worse when you get to the stuff. Actually, funny story. I had detention with I know me detention. I had detention with a friend in senior year of high school because we thought it was cool to like skip a day, and we had these two girls pretend to be our mothers and call us out, and left a message. But the school then confirms with your mother because they have your mother's number on file. So we were just so silly. So the school called our mothers, and our mothers are like, "No, we didn't make that call," and we got grounded and everything that we were. Well, my friend wanted to skip a test that he didn't study for. Well, guess what? He got a zero on that test. Long story short, we had detention. The night before the detention, we decided to carpool the next day. So the detention was on a Saturday. We had to do all this like community service. So we hung out that Friday night. And when you're in high school, Friday night's kind of like you party a little bit. So we wake up and he's so groggy. And the night before, what I did was I wrote all over his face. And when we woke up the next morning, he's like, "All right, let's go to detention." And I wasn't going to tell him. I wanted him to walk into detention like that. But he was driving, so the second he turns the car on, he looks in the rearview mirror, and he sees his face. He turns to me with so many four-letter words I can't even tell you. He goes, "You're going to let me go like this?" So I believe in that context. I was being a true friend because that would have been a story for the ages. But yeah, when someone has something on their face and you don't tell them, they get a little upset. All right, so let me continue. Tomorrow we have a 3 to 4 p.m. proptology. Like in, yeah, yeah, exactly. Even that sounds horrible. Like we have a 3 o'clock proptology. No, but we're doing a live for an hour just to show everyone how it works. What I also found out was that, so the welcome email of proptology gives you the login links to Rhino Hub because that's where it's located. But once you're in Rhino Hub, then what? It doesn't actually tell you like, oh, there it is, and that's what you're supposed to do. And I found this out because I'd someone email me and say, "Oh, this is a scam. You took my dollar, blah." And I was like, first of all, we didn't take a dollar. You have 14 days free. Second of all, I'm right here emailing you back. Thirdly, here's a bunch of screenshots. And fourthly, thank you for letting me know because that is something we should let people know. This is your next steps, right? Prompt engineering. Yeah, we're going to change. I have to. I just have to. Um, so cute, but just to, yeah, I have to change it. The, I guess part that stinks is I own all the URLs for promptology, which is study of prompts, right? But yeah, I'm going to change it. We'll figure it out. All right, so I'm going to fix that. And I think that's all for today. Everything is good. So again, all-time high in members, all-time high in liquidity. Um, what else do we have? And the bot, I believe, will be fully functional by next weekend, probably before then, so we can all play around and have a little fun with it. In which case, that I think really moves our numbers up. Well, that's going to be the impetus to make me really go super duper duper on it. When I know that when you have a sales team that you know can sell, it makes you want to do marketing. So if I know I have a sales team, which is the bot that can sell, well, then my efforts will be rewarded. So then it's like, let's get out there. I still need to put together a Twitter business plan. I wanted to start kind of on Twitter today. As you have noticed, I do a tweet here and there, just kind of testing some stuff. But the real crux of it will be when I sit here and spend 7 hours just going into different chat rooms, talking to different people, finding my way around, making new friends, offering certain things. Um, because that's kind of what you need to do. You need to be out there. So it's kind of like door to door marketing, which I've done before. So I'm okay with that. So I think that's it. So I'll see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. I'll see prompt engineering. I'll see my promptology group at 3 o'clock. Oh man. Um, but yeah, totally cool. So love y'all, and I will see you tomorrow.